Hello everyone. Yeah, okay. So hey guys, welcome everyone. Yeah, hello. Yes, yes. Okay guys, just give me 2 minutes. Till then, you guys just let me know in the chat that from which country are you guys watching this live session, okay? Nice way. Print India. Okay. London. Great. Great guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. So what we are going to do in the last live session, we have seen the higher order functions. Yeah. Yes. Okay, I'm buffering. Wait, let me check. Yeah. So in the last live session, we have seen the higher order functions. Okay. Now, in today's live session, we are going to see those higher order functions and how to use those HOFs with the list comprehension. Okay. So basically, we'll see that. And one more thing, before moving to our main concept of today's live session, what we will do, we will basically revise some of the list and higher order functions, okay, and then little bit of list comprehension, and then we'll combine all the topics, okay. So I have a question for you guys, okay. So you guys can answer it in yes and no. So tell me that, can you use the in operator to check if an element is a list, okay. So your question is, can you use the in operator to check if an element is in a list? Yes or no? Okay, so most of the people are saying yes, yes. Yeah. Okay. So yes is the correct option. Okay. Then guys, your next question is, does the sort method modify the original list? Okay guys, your next question is, does the sort method modify the original list? Yes or no? Okay, so people are saying yes. Yeah, yes is the correct one. Okay. Okay, guys. The next question is, can a function be passed as an argument to another function? Yes or no? Someone is saying that more question for practice. Okay. Okay, we'll see more questions. Okay. Yeah, guys, you can have little bit trouble in hearing me because of some network issue in my area, okay? So please do manage, or when I'm not audible, just let me know in the chat, okay? So that I can repeat the topics again. Yeah, okay. I hope now my voice is clear. Okay. Do let me in the chat that if my voice is clear or not. I hope it is fixed now. Okay, first let me know about my voice. Is it clear or not? Yes or no? Guys, first tell me that my voice is clear or not. Okay, okay, okay. So the voice is clear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So in between, I have asked a question between these two questions. I have asked you guys a question. I think that you guys have not heard it carefully. I have means it was not audible at that time. My question was then if a function can be passed as an argument to another function, so you guys replied yes. So then that function will be called as which type of function? Okay. So guys, I've asked a question that if this statement is correct, then the functions who can pass another function as an argument, so what type of function they are? Yes. Now someone has replied as higher order function. So yes, they will be called as a higher order function. Nice. Okay, so Brahmosi, good. You have replied, given the correct answer, higher order functions that we have seen in the previous, means yesterday's live session. Yeah, Nicholas, you have also given the correct answer. Good. Okay. Guys, your next question is, can a higher order function return another function? Can a higher order function return another function? Yes or no? Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. So now we are good to go with today's session. Let's start the today's session. I think the problem is also fixed. Okay. So I hope now the voice and the screen okay, both are clearly visible and audible. So now we'll do what? We'll see some of the functions uh, like zip function, like enumerate. Okay. So these are some of the functions which are used with, okay, lists. So someone is the in yesterday's live session have asked a question like how to combine two different lists. Okay. So at that point, I have said that we'll see in the next class. And at that time, I've given them a solution to concatenate it, to just add two lists. Okay. But now there is one more option that is called as zip. Okay. So today we are going to see zip. Okay. And then there is one more function called as enumerate. So we'll see the use of these two functions. Okay. Now, what is this zip and what is the use of this function? So this zip function is basically used to combine iterables, okay? Yes, Shivam, you are right that we can use combine, okay? We can use combine also to, sorry, we can use extend also to combine. But the problem is that when you'll use extend, then it will add the elements at the end, okay? But zip will add in different way, okay? So that we are going to see, okay? So first, so let's do the programming. Now, before going to the programming, but I'll tell you the syntax of zip. So basically, the syntax of zip looks like this, and so on. How many iterables you want to give, you can just give it. And one more thing that you have to take in consideration is that what this zip returns, okay? So basically, this zip returns, it returns an iterator. An iterator of what? It returns an iterator of a tuple, okay? Iterator of tuples, where each tuple contains one element from each iterable. Okay. Now, with the example, when we'll take the example, it will be more clear. So let's take the example. So let's say we have a list with us of names. Okay. So let's store some random names in it. Now we have three names in our list names. Now for these names, we'll store ages. So let's say for first name, there is 25, 30, and 35. Now we want our output in such a way that this names and ages, okay, should be get organized with one another. It means with Alice, 25 should be attached. Attached means that they should be put together. Then with Bob, 30, and then with Charlie, 35. Okay. So at that time we can use zip. Now how we can use that? Let's see that. So now I'll create one more object combined in which I'm going to use the zip. Okay, then the list constructor, inside this we will use zip names and ages, and then we'll simply print it. Okay, so now as you can see, your output will look like this. Okay, so now you have combined it. Now, what if our output is like this? Suppose when our output is like this, okay, so now I'll do what? I'll do the just opposite. Okay, so I'll store this, whatever was our output, I'll store it in object called as zipped. And in this zipped object, okay, now we have to do the opposite. We have two items inside a tuple, and the tuples are inside a list. Okay, so we have to now unpack this. Okay, so let's see how we can unpack this with using the zip method. So for unpacking it, first of all, we have to see that how many items are present inside one tuple. Okay, so just for this example, there are only two items. One is the name and one is ages. So what we can do, dependent on the items, that how many items are inside each tuple, we will take that much object here. So suppose we'll take one age, one names, and one age. Okay, and then we have to use the zip. And here, what we will give, you will give asterisk and zipped like this. So asterisk and then the zipped, the name over here. This will assure that all the things it is taking, means all the items, it ensures that all the items in the tuple it is going to take. Now, what you have to do, you have to basically convert it using the print. What you can do, convert the names in using in a list using the list constructor, and do the same thing for the ages also. Okay, so now you will have two separate lists with you. One named as name, means one is named as names and one is named as ages. Okay, so this was how you can combine different list in one. And then if you have combined list with you, so how you can unpack it. So both we have seen. Now, there could be one more situation, or you guys can ask a question that what if we have two or three lists and that lists are uneven in number? I mean, suppose one list has three items and one list has only two items. Then what would be our output? Okay, so let's check that. Suppose we have a list A, then we have a list B, and in this B list we have only two items. So let's use the zip and let's check the output. Let's provide the two lists, okay, and we'll print result. Okay, so in the output you can check that it has stopped at the shortest length. Okay, so shortest length was in which list? It was in list B. Okay, so one got with A, two got with B, but there is no other value for 3. So because of that, the list B has shorted, means it has been sorted in comparison to the list A, so it will be stopped there only. So this 3 will be not combined to any of them. Okay, so it will stop at the shortest. So we will get only two tuples inside our list. Okay, so this was zip function for you guys. Okay, I hope you have understood it. Okay, so guys, is this clear? Okay, someone has asked one question that do we need to learn all functions to do DSA using shortcut with less time? Means, bro, you want to say that uh, we have to learn these all functions to perform DSA in less time. Am I right? Yes, bro. Means, see, if you learn all this function or if you have idea about this function, then it will be beneficial to you because Python is all about doing the task in less time. That's why Python was created. This was the mindset to create Python. That Python has the ability that means it has something from all the languages. Okay, it has taken some things from all the programming languages. Okay, so that is the use of Python. That it has built-in functions. So you don't need to create or write the codes or create your own functions. It has already the built-in functions given. Okay, just like to combine two lists like this, we have a built-in function called as zip. If you have to combine it manually by creating a function, then you can only imagine that how many lines of code it will need. At least 5 to 10 lines of code it will need. So that is the thing. Okay, so people have understood this zip very good. So now we can move to enumerate and let's see that how enumerate works. Okay, now enumerate is also a very beautiful function. So yeah, let's see enumerate now. So enumerate. So this function basically is very simple, okay, but plays a very important role. And that role is that it adds index to the iterables, okay? This enumerate function, it adds index to the iterables. So sometimes we need to count the values, okay? Or at what position, what value is there. So then this enumerate will play a very important role, okay, in knowing that at which position which value is present, okay? So it basically does what? This enumerate basically adds a counter, okay? Counter, you can call it as an index also, okay? To an iterable, returning a tuple of the form, okay? Which returns a tuple of the form which will look like this, index and then the element, okay? Now let's see the syntax of this. How to use enumerate and what is the syntax of enumerate. So in enumerate, you have to first give the iterable name, okay, on which iterable you want to apply. And then one more parameter is there that is start, okay. So by default, we keep the start as 0 only. You can keep it 1 or whatever value you want, but by default, we keep it 0, okay. So now we have seen the syntax. Now let's do what? Let's see an example. So I'll do what? I'll just take one list called as fruits, okay, and I'll store some fruits inside it. So I have a list called as fruits in which I have stored three items, apple, banana, and cherry. Now I want to print this list. Okay. So for printing this list, I can easily print fruits or I can use loop also for I in fruits, print I. I can do this also. But what if I want the index also, index value also? So then what I can do, I can use enumerate. Okay. Now when I'll use enumerate, okay, But where I have to use enumerate, that is the big question. I know I have to use enumerate, but at what place, how I'll keep enumerate, where I'll keep the enumerate. So what you have to do, you have to keep enumerate here and the iteration part, okay? And you'll keep your iterable inside the enumerate. So for I in enumerate, inside the enumerate, you'll keep your fruits. And then one more thing, what you have to do is basically you have to now take one more loop variable. So one loop variable was I when it was only fruits, when we are using only fruits, then it was I for I in fruits. But now because we are using enumerate and enumerate returns two values, index and the element. So now we have to use two loop variables also so that that loop variables can store that value. So one, I'll take it I, so I'll keep I as it is. I stands for index also, or what I can do, let's make it more easy, more simple. One I'll take index and one I'll take fruit. Okay. And I'll print both now. Now how I'll print it? I'll just simply print it like this. Inside one print only index and comma fruit. Okay. So now you will see the index values are also there with the items. So apple is at 0 position, banana is at 1, and cherry is at second position. So yeah, like this. Now let's, okay, it's very easy. You have to just put your iterable inside enumerate, and then you have to add one more loop variable, and you have to just simply print both loop variables together. So you will get an output like this. Okay, it's very easy. Now let's check one more example. Okay, so I'll do what? I'll in this example also little bit changes will be there. If you remember in the syntax, I have told you that start equals to 0 in the syntax here. Okay, but here we don't use the start parameter. Why? Because by default the value is set of enumerate. The by default the value of start is 0 only. So we don't need to explicitly give 0. But other than 0, if you want, suppose if you want to start it from let's say 1, okay, so then you can set it to 1. So if then you will execute it, so apple will be at one position, then banana, and then cherry. Why by default it is set to 0? Because in indexing in Python always starts from 0. So because of that, enumerate also by default takes 0 only, starts from 0 only. But if you want to start it from some other value, so you can give your own value. Okay. Now let's check one more example. Okay. And then it will be more clear for you guys that how the enumerate works. Now, so in this example, what we are going to do, we'll directly take a list inside the enumerate. Okay. And let's see then what will happen. So I'll use the list constructor, and inside the list constructor, I'll directly take the enumerate. Okay. And inside the enumerate, I'll take directly a list only. Means I'm not going to take a name. I'll just directly give the elements inside a list only. Okay. So Z, and let's simply print index and let's see the output. So now you can see the output. What I have told you, that adds a counter to an iterable and returns a tuple of the form index and element. Okay. So because as I have said in the definition of enumerate, you can see that we have used enumerate directly on a list, and the list contains XYZ, three items, okay, in string format, and we have used the list constructor only. Okay. Now this list constructor is doing what? Whatever enumerate is returning. So basically enumerate will return three tuples. Okay. As in the definition it has been said. But because we are converting it into a list, so all these three tuples are now inside a list. Okay. And each tuple containing one index value and one item. So 0 comma x, then in the other tuple 1 comma y, and in the third tuple 2 comma z. So I hope now you've understood that how the enumerate works. Now, when to use what? So now I think it is clear for you guys that when you can use what function. So zip you have to use when you want to pair elements from multiple iterables. Enumerate you will use when you want indexes while looping over a sequence. Okay. Okay. So I hope this enumerate is clear, guys. Okay. Just let me know in the chat, and then we'll start solving some very good questions. Okay. Clear? Yeah. Okay, clear. So now let's move to the next. Now, in this, what we are going to do, we are going to use two concept. Okay. So let me first introduce you to our list. So this is our list. And what we are going to do, we have to return, we have to return the product of all even numbers. Okay. So guys, we have to basically return the product of all even numbers from the list. Okay. So here what we can do, we can basically use two HOFs, means two higher order functions. Uh, one for filtering out all the even ones, and then one to just reduce it to one value, okay, to do the product of all the filtered elements. So let's see how we can do that. So before doing that, we are going to use two HOFs. One is the filter and another one is reduce. So let's do what? For using reduce, as you guys already know that reduce is present in the functools library. So we have to import it from there. So from functools import reduce. Okay. And now, first of all, we have to filter out the even ones. So even filter. Okay. Now inside the filter, we'll use lambda. Okay. Because as we know that HOF takes functions as a parameter. So we will first give the function which is going to filter out the even ones. So for that, we have to give the expression for that lambda function. So lambda x colon and then x modulus operator 2 equals to 0. So those who know that it is the way to check that if a number or a particular value is even or not. So we are using that, and we will use it in nums, okay, on our very list nums. Now, this filter will do what? It is going to filter all the elements which are even and going to store in the events object. Then we'll create one more object as product. In this object, we'll use reduce because now all the events ones we have to do the product of it. So we'll do what? A, okay, first of all, we have to take the lambda. So lambda A, B, these are the two arguments. And in this, we are going to do the product. So, okay, means multiply. A multiply B, and then we'll give the events. And let's print the product. Okay, so as you can see, 48 is the output. Okay, so in this example, basically, we just show that how we can use two different HOFs together to bring out our desired output, to bring out our solution of the problem. Okay. So guys, you have understood this example, so that if yes, then we can move to the next question, because next question is more interesting. So do let me know in the chat by saying yes or no. Understood, then yes. If not, then no, so that I can explain one more time. Okay, so one had said yes. So we can move to the next example. Okay, yes. Yeah. So let's move to the next example. That is, for that we'll need two lists. Okay. So let's take two lists. Okay. Now, our problem is that we have given two lists. Okay. That we already know. Yeah. Tell something new. And then what we have to do, zip them, but include only pairs where both elements have the same length. Okay. So the question says that we have given two lists, we have to zip them, but we have to include only those pairs where both elements have the same length. So if both the elements at same places, if they have the same length, then only they will be paired. If they are not, then they will be not paired. Okay, that is our problem. Okay, so let's find the solution for that problem. So now what we are going to do, we will use the concept of list comprehension. Now this question can be performed in uh, multiple ways, but because our recently topic which we are studying is list comprehension. So we want that every problem should be solved in that using that concept only. So we are going to use that. So in list comprehension, first thing is what output, what expression we want. So we want that two values to be together in a tuple format. Okay, so x and x comma y. This will be our output. Then as we have two values, so we have to iterate over two values also, and zip will be also used. So what we will do for x comma y, then in zip, and inside this zip, what we'll do, we'll give our two iterables a and b. Then the condition which we are going to give is if, and then we'll check the length of x of A and then the length of list B. Okay, but we'll not going to check the length of iterable A and iterable B. We'll check the length of the item inside A and item inside B. So the item inside list A is X and the item inside list B is Y. So length of, so using the length function, length of X is equal to length of Y. If this is so, so then print matched, and then in this map object, only those will be printed, means only those items or those pair will be there whose length are same. So dog run, cat hat, and lion road. So now we'll do what? Let's make some changes. Okay. So when I have made some changes in our list A, in the third item that I have changed, I have added one S in lion. So it is lions. Okay. Now don't go grammatical wise. I think lions. Okay. So now it has 5 characters in it and roar has only 4 characters. So now you will see this pair has been excluded. Okay. And we have only these two. Okay. These two pair with us. Dog run and cat hat. Okay. Now, so I hope you guys have understood this one. Any confusion, just do let me know. See, it's very easy. What we want, it's what we have studied till now. What we want, then the loop, using the loop, we are doing the iteration. Now this time we are using zip to do the iteration, to perform the iteration, and then the condition to check. Okay. So everything remains same only. Now let's do what? Uh, let's move to the next problem, and it is more interesting, guys. So basically, it is like this. First, let's take two iterables, okay, and then we'll discuss about the problem. That's what we have to do in the problem. Uh, so we have one list A, and one list is as B, 10, 20, and 30. Now let's discuss the problem here. Okay. So basically we have to combine index and values from two zipped lists. We'll take an object called, okay, this is the other problem. Yeah. And this is the important part, that how we are using enumerate and zip inside enumerate. Okay. Okay. So guys, you have understood this one, or do you want that I just make it understand one more time? Just let me know in the chats, yes or no, because I feel that it is bit complex for you guys. that how I have used zip inside enumerate. Yeah, okay, okay. See, first of all, this is list comprehension, okay? And in this, what we are creating a list of formatted strings. So what was the question demanding? The question was demanding to combine index and the values from two zipped lists. And we were given two lists with us. So first task was that we have to combine these two lists. And after combining these two lists, what we have to do, we have to then combine index also. So this was our task. So if you will combine, if you'll use zip like this, zip a comma b, so it will give resultant like um, in a tuple format 10 comma 1 20 comma 2 30 comma 3 like this. Okay, it will give some like that. Now what we are going to do, then we have to add index also. So at this time our output will look like something this if we'll only use zip. Okay, so please pay attention here. If we'll only do like this, so our output will look like first a comma 10, then comma, then one more tuple, then b comma 20, then at the end like this c comma 30, then our output will be like this. Now what we have to do here, we have to now add index also. So when we'll add index, so then our output will look like somehow like this. First there will be a list, then a bigger tuple will be there, then 0, then comma, then one more tuple will be there inside it, and then this thing a comma 10. Okay, then same thing, I'll copy it over here, and here it will be 1, here it will be b, and then 20, then again 1 comma, then again 30, c, and 2. Okay, so this will be the output. So for getting this output, one index value, as you can see, one index value extra has been added. So what we can do to add an extra, we can put everything, means we can put the zip inside the enumerate like this, zip a comma b. So we'll keep whole zip a comma b, the two iterables, with inside enumerate. So this will give us a resultant like this. Now the next thing is that the for loop, okay, that is this one, this part, for I comma xy in enumerate. Okay, this is the most important part. So in this loop, what we are doing, we are uh, we are looping over each index pair from the zip list. Okay, so that's why we have given enumerate zip. So this zip becomes, means this zip will do what? This is going to combine this A and B both lists together. So now assume like this zip is giving one list. Okay, it's not giving two different lists. This zip is giving only one list. Okay, think like that. And when we are seeing enumerates, I'll just show you when we were checking out enumerate. So enumerate is somehow like this. For index, okay, then fruit in enumerate fruits. So at that, in this example, the fruit is a single list, okay. So think like that there is a zip, and the zip is doing what? Zip is combining the two lists. So zip is also returning a single list only. So that single list is taken in enumerate, and then that enumerate here, as you can see, then this enumerate is having one index parameter, and then because the zip is returning two values, so that's why we have taken inside the tuple x and y both. Okay, for both printing a and 10 both. And now simply at this place, this is the expression part, that what we want. So we basically want the index, which is the I over here. Okay, and then x dash y. Okay, in this format, a dash 10. So we want in this format. So we have given the format over here. So format is just like the output which I say and then the loop. And it's very simple. So now I hope it is clear. If not, just let me know in the comments. Yes or no. Okay, Promosi is saying that it's clear. Good. Anyone? Okay, clear. Uh, two variables data is not matching. Can I use zip? Longly, bro, I'm not getting what you want to say. You're saying two variable data is not matching. Can I use zip? Two variable data means you have two lists and you want to match it, so you can use zip. If you have two lists and you want to, yeah, match them together, means put them together, just in the example of how I have shown you. So yes, you can use zip. Yeah. If your question is that, then you can use zip. If you mean something else, so please elaborate little bit so that I can understand it. Okay, so then I can give you some clear output. Okay. Okay, guys, let's solve one more last question and then we'll end this live session because of my network problem. Okay, I hope you guys will understand. Okay, so rest of the things which is left for this live session, rest of the topics, we'll cover it in next live session. So you're saying, I mean, oh, I got you. So you were saying if you have two lists, means one list has 1, 2, and one list has 1, 2, 3. And if you use zip, so I have already told you, bro, in some of the example, wait, let me show you the sorted one. It will end at the sorted. See, this example, okay? In this example, the list A has 1, 2, 3, three items, and list B has only 2 items, okay? And when you do the zip, so it will end at the sorted length. So list B has the shortest length because it has only 2 items. It will end at there only. So A will be with 1, B will be with 2, and because there is no other item to be attached with 3, so it will end at B only. Okay, so I hope you're cleared now. Okay, I hope now your doubt is clear. Okay, guys, let's solve one last question for this class and then uh, we'll end the session. Okay, so we have a list of numbers. Okay, so 3, 10, 7, 8, 12, and 5. And our problem demands that find the maximum even number. Find the maximum even number. Okay, so how we can perform that? So first of all, what we can do here, we can use the concept of 2HOF. Okay, it's clear. So yeah, good. So now we can use two HOF here. One will be filter to filter all the even numbers. And then when we have filtered all the even numbers, so then we can use reduce to find the largest, okay, out of that numbers. So it will be a largest even number. Okay. So let's first find the evens. So it's very simple and we have done already. So I think you guys will easily do this. X and X modulus 2 equals to 0 and then our list nums. Then we'll do what? We'll create an object for finding the maximum even, reduce. Okay, we'll take two arguments a and b, and now we'll use a if a is greater than b, else b. Okay, and we'll put our events over here, and then we'll print max events. So it should be 12. Let's see. Oh, okay. Max even. S is not there. 12. Okay. So 12 is our output. Okay, guys. I hope this is clear. So tell me one thing, guys. Uh, if now my voice is clear and my screen is properly going, means if now the network is good, so we can continue, okay, for more 10 to 15 minutes, or should I end the class here only and we should continue in the next live session? So you guys only tell me what to do. Should we end the live session now, or let's solve more questions for 10 to 15 minutes and then end the class? If it is clearly audible and if it is clearly visible, then only. So you guys are watching the live session, so you guys can only tell. So one Nicholas has said that we can continue. Okay. Any more replies? Okay, now I'm clear. Okay. Okay, Brahmosi, thank you. You are clear now. Since now my voice is clear. Okay. Guys, please reply in the chat so that I'll be sure that what's the majority is saying. Okay. Okay, so everyone is saying clear. So let's solve more questions, okay? Because it would be better to practice more. Yeah, continue. Okay, guys. I got it. Let's continue. Okay. Uh, Now I'll show you one more way, okay? One more interesting way to make your code more shorter, okay? So maybe for more of you guys it will be more complex, okay? But believe me, it's not complex. It will be more easy. Okay, once you have understood, so it will be more easy. And I'm there to make you understand. Okay, so yeah, we have a list with us, list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, simple numbers. Okay, then what is our problem? What we have to do? So basically, we have to do the sum of squares of even numbers. Okay, sum of a square of even numbers. So now, sum of squares of even numbers. Now, see, what we have to do? First, we have to square all the numbers. Then we have to perform the sum. Okay, but there is one more thing. Only with the even numbers. Okay, not with all the numbers. Only with even numbers. That is our problem. So now, first of all, we'll need to use three concept here. Okay, we have to use map also to do the square of numbers. Then we have to use filter also so that we can filter out only the even number. Okay, and then we have to perform sum also. Okay, of the squares of the even numbers. Then we have to find out the sum of the numbers. So we have to use the three concept: map, filter, and reduce. Okay, all. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all, everyone knows only that we have to first find the even numbers, okay, or let's say even squares. Now, how we will do that? See, there is a very interesting way. First of all, we'll use map, okay, and inside map we'll give a function to do the square of each number. But now some of you will say, sir, we have to do the square of only the even values, and you are directly using map. You have not used filter first. Okay, that will be one question for you guys. Okay, and that is a question. So the answer for that question is that you guys only tell me if we will first do the filter. So filter returns what? It returns an iterator object, and if you will convert it in using a list, so that will be a list of even numbers. Am I right? Yes or no, guys? Please do let me in the chat quickly. Do let me know in the chat quickly, guys. Yes or no? If we will first use filter, then that filter will return what? It will return an iterator object which will contain all the even numbers. Am I right? Yes or no? Okay. One has said yes. Okay. More. Only one is getting my point. Okay. Yes. Okay. So two people are saying yes. Okay. So if we'll use filter before, so it is going to give us an even number. And the map function takes two parameters. First, it takes the function, and second, it takes the iterable. So filter is also returning what? Filter is also returning an iterable only. Am I right? So why can't we do like this, that directly just give filter over here only? Okay. So now the concept is updated, and instead of giving a name of an iterable, we will use filter, and inside the filter, because filter also takes two parameter only, first the function and then the iterable, so we will give directly filter over here. Okay, so let's give lambda x, then x modulus 2 equals to 0. Okay, and then let's give nums inside filter now. So now this even squares have what? This even squares have, means the numbers have been done in square also. First it has found the even numbers, and then that on that even numbers, the square of the even numbers is also done. Now we have to do what? Yes, good. Now we have to do what in the total? Let's create object total. In the reduce, we'll do what? We'll do the addition part. So lambda ab a plus b, and then let's give even squares and print total. So 20. So 16 plus 4 is 20. Yeah, someone has given the code. Mm, okay, your approach is also means kind of working. Uh, yeah, that will also work, and this will also work. So it depends on you what you want to use, okay? But in my opinion, this one is more good, clear, because this makes you learn one more new concept, that instead of giving an iterable, you can directly give filter also, okay? Because filter is also going to return an iterable only. So, okay. But that your approach is also correct, okay? You can use that approach also. Okay. So, next problem is we have a string with us, okay? S2, B3, C4, okay? And in this string, our problem is that we have to multiply digits in this string, in the below string, okay? So we have a string with us in which S2, B3, C3, it is a string, okay? Now from this string, we have to find out only the words, okay? And then on that words, what we have to do, we have to do the product, okay? We have to do the product. So how we are going to do that? So first of all, we have to extract the digits only from the string. And a string is also a sequence of characters. So it is also an iterable only. So we can directly use filter over here, okay? Now the filter takes first parameter as a function and second as an iterable. So iterable is with us, that is s. It is a string. What uh what here we are going to give in the function. In the function we are going to give a str function, means a string function, and that function name is digit. Okay. So is digit is a built-in string method. Okay, which is used to check that if there is a string, if there is a digit inside a string, okay, it is used to find out that, and then we'll give the iterable, that is s, that is a string. So now this is going to give us the digits, okay? But remember one thing, these digits are still in string format only. They are not converted into an integer format. And we have to do what? We have to multiply the digits. So we cannot perform multiplication on strings. So then we have to convert it into, okay, we have to convert it into an integer first for doing the multiplication. So first of all, we'll take two arguments in reduce, and then we'll convert int a, and then we'll multiply with it with int b, okay, and then we'll give our iterable digits, and let's print product. So now you'll get 24. 4 into 3 is 12. 12 into 2 is 24. So 24 is your output. Okay. Uh, Now we have what? We have list of numbers with us. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay. Our problem is that what we have to do, we have to sum of even indices. Okay. You have to perform the sum of even indices. I hope guys you're getting the question. Indices means the index values. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to sum all the even index values. Okay, so sum of all the even index values. So it means one, it is 0, so 10 will be taken, 10 will be taken, 30 will be 0, 1, 2, so 30 will be taken, then 50 will be taken. Okay, so we want the sum of 50, 30, and 10. So first of all, we have to extract 10, 30, and 50, the even indices, and then we can apply reduce. Okay, so now for extracting even ones, let's see how we will do that. So let's create an object even index value called as, okay, it will be called as like this. Then we are going to use the list comprehension thing, and what we are going to put it inside it, we will put value, then loop for I, and then I stands for index here, value in. Now we are going to use enumerate. Okay, enumerate nums, and now what we want only the even ones. Okay, only the even index value. So we'll put a condition, but in the condition, what we will give? We will give I over here. Okay, we want to check for even index value. So I modulus 2 equals to 0. If this is, then what we'll get back? We'll get back the value. Now, when we have the value with us, so then we can easily apply, we can create total, and we can easily apply reduce now. So reduce lambda a comma b, a plus b. Okay, and let's provide our newly created index underscore even underscore index underscore value, and let's print total. Okay, so the output is 90. Obviously 50 plus 30 is 80, plus 10 is 90. So guys, I hope you have understood this one. Okay, this example. So let's keep this much only for today. Okay, and rest of the things will continue in our next live sessions. So thank you guys for joining the today live session, and you guys are still there, still watching. It means you guys really want to learn Python, and that's very good, because nowadays Python is only there is a very huge demand of Python. So yeah, and once again, sorry for the inconvenience because of the network problem. So for that also, thank you. Okay guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned up like this. Okay, we'll see you in the next live session. Yes, bro. Sairam, thank you, thank you. Yes, bro, Mosi, thank you. What makes a value? Okay, one question is there from Nicholas, that what makes a value an even index? For example, in the last example given, what makes a value a even index? No, no, no. Value is already attached with the index in when we talk about a list. When we are talking about a list, so this 10 is at which position? Indexing always begins from 0 in Python. Okay, so this 10 is at which position? If someone will ask that this 10 is at which position, so those who know about Python, they will say that it is at 0 position. Okay, then at which position 20 is there? So 20 is at 1 position. Okay, then 30 is at 2 position, 40 is at third, and 50 is at fourth. So because 50 is at fourth position, so 4 is an even, 30 is at second position, so second is an even, and 0 is in this example is also considered as even value, because it will also generate 0. So because of that, 10 has been also considered as an even value only. So that's why what we are doing here, we are basically, we want the output to be At the end, we want the value only. But which value? A even index value. Ah, okay. You've got it. So a even index values. So how we will get a even index? So for getting an even index, first of all, we have to find out the whole index of the uh, iterable nums. Okay. So that's why we have used the enumerate, because we know the enumerate function, the use of enumerate function. Okay. Now this I is having the index and this value is having the value of that index. Okay. And we want to check for even indexes. That's why we put the condition with I, that if I is divided with 2 and if the remainder is equal to 0, so then it is a even value, even index, and if it is an even index, then give the value of that index. Okay, and then that value is getting stored in this object, and then rest of the thing I guess you know only. Okay. Okay guys, once again thank you. Bye, we'll see you in the next session.